Welcome to City on a Hill Gaming, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons actual play podcast. Let's meet our players.
Hi, I'm Grant, and I'm playing Trather Wimlin, a human fighter.
Hi, I'm Jenny, and I'm going to be playing John Abermere, a Crimson-born human.
Peter, Bertrand Greystone, Dwarven Forge Cleric.
William R. Aarakocro Magi.
Daniel, I am playing Vatten. I am a half-elf ranger.
Hi, my name is Ben, and I am Twig, or Shem. I am a rogue bard and a Goliath.
We hope you enjoy our episode. Welcome to City on a Hill Gaming. I am your Game Master Ryan. We are back for Session 2 of our new campaign with Peter, Grant, Jenny, William, Ben, and Daniel, all of our players. We're going to hop straight in. When we finished last time, you guys had just had a very interesting, curious encounter with a bronze dragon wormling. And you guys were sent there by Izzo, a gentleman who employs each of you on occasion as adventurers from his business that he shares with his co-owner, Daisha, called the Big Board. And you guys were sent to retrieve a chest that the wormling had taken from a caravan. And you guys had a curious little encounter with her and have made your way back to the city of Varen. And are now back at the Big Board. And yeah, I will let you guys go from there.
Okay, so I have a way that I want to present this as we come in, just because I'm a little annoyed at being sent out with inadequate information into a situation that's obviously more complex than Izzo gave us credit for.
Sure.
I want to take this big heavy chest and like drag it squeakily along the stone floor as we come in. Just push the door open and just
bump. Thud,
have
thud,
that be our
thud.
hello.
You just drop it as soon as you step in, all the coins shake.
Yeah.
I like it. It's good. Okay, so yeah, Izzo looks in as the door opens, sees you guys walk in, sees the chest. You got it. Oh, excellent. Okay, great. You guys are back, and you got it, and awesome. You found the wormling okay? You didn't have any... Look, I mean, you got the chest back, so obviously. Great. Okay, is everything still in it?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Everything's still in there. Crathar wants her money, by the way.
He, so there's a couple of reactions as soon as you say that. There's confusion, a brief look of, well, that's not what that was supposed to happen, and then almost a slight smile. Huh. So be it, she'll get her money. So you had a talk with her.
Yeah. What, did you think we were just going to go in stabbing?
I never know exactly how my adventurers will handle things, but you guys have taken an interesting route, and I admire that. You got the job done. That's really all that matters to me.
The effusion of blood is not to be undertaken lightly, good sir.
Fair.
Bertrand will nod and just point at Trather when he says that.
What he said.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you guys got the job done. I'll take it. Can I see what's in the chest, please?
Just kind of scoot it like squeakily across the floor.
Just like kick it over to him.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys got it open. Good. He kind of smiles over at Shem. Okay. So he sees all the gold, sees the book, sees the locked bag. He takes the book out, sets it on the counter, takes the bag out, sets it on the counter, kind of separates the gold out, and takes it out in two halves, puts one half back in the chest, closes the chest, and Bertrand, he brings that chest back to you, and he's like, not right now, but sometime in the next couple of days, can you take this back to Crathar for me, please?
Sure.
And then he takes the other 150 gold and gives you each 25. He leans over the counter, pulls out a key, opens the lock on the bag, and then takes the lock off and tosses the bag to John.
Oh.
You guys can keep that.
Should I roll a dex save?
Sure. No. It gently tosses the bag at John. to John, not at John, is probably more accurate. Ha! Have that thing.
Fast bag. It's like a fast ball.
All right.
You wouldn't fight her. You're gonna fight me now. No. He tosses it to you. I shouldn't.
Okay.
At you is a very leading word. I realize now. You guys can keep that.
All right.
So what you have in front of you, Jenny?
Mm-hmm.
You now that you're actually holding it, you can kind of. You can use Detect Magic and Arcana and just kind of get a feel for it. You have a regular bag of holding.
Cool.
Whatever
Nice.
I think level 1 is the lowest level of bag of holding. So you guys have a level 1 bag of holding. And inside, there's a carved wooden statue. Everybody make me a history check. Or I will also take religion.
That's a 7.
We all continue our tradition of not rolling above a 10.
Here we go.
Except for Peter.
Yeah, the cleric rolled well on religion. What a shock.
One can only hope. So Daniel, religion or history check, please. Peter, obviously you're good there with the 14. William, was that religion or history?
History.
Okay. All right. So William recognizes the statue pretty easily. And Peter, you're pretty comfortable, at least with the iconography of the statue. It's kind of an oddly shapen thing, but you get a sense of a spiritual connection. You both have heard Yahweh referred to by some as Osenu, and Osenu means the shaper. It's sort of an indication of Yahweh as a creator, or the one who shapes the world around us. And these statues pop up in different places, usually either in the northern area in Thassaran or kind of along the border in Anwaru. And William, there's stories about a turtle monk who kind of travels around doing different things, and he leaves the statues different places. You guys have that statue, you have the bag of holding, you have the gold. And you see Izzo pick the book up off the counter and then just go put it on a little bookshelf behind the desk. All right. Awesome. You guys found everything. Thank you. So while you're all here, I've got 2 more jobs for you. Back to back, and it's very time sensitive. I hope you guys rested, because right now.
Okay.
Very well.
Go on.
Okay, so I got contacted by a woman. She believes her granddaughter is in danger. Her son and his wife and her granddaughter live near Varen. And she was notified by one of the child's nursemaids that the mother and father have been taken by orcs.
It's also not good.
She's fairly certain that the other maids managed to maids and they have a butler managed to get the child out safely, but no one's really sure where they ended up. They just know it's somewhere near here, and she wants her granddaughter found.
And I'm guessing part 2 is find the parents?
Part 2 is get the child back safely to her grandmother. Across the border back in Thassaran.
Simple enough.
All right.
You'll bring her
Let's
back.
go.
You'll bring her back here first, but eventually you will need to take the child to the city of Orial. He looks at you, Trather. You know the area, yes? You know offhand Orial is near the area you grew up.
Yes, of course.
Near the crossroads. Okay, so unfortunately that's kind of all I've got. I don't even know where to tell you to start looking. So you guys have all been in this area for a while. You have contacts that aren't me. See what you can figure out.
We do have time for the inn.
I think
If-
I might know a guy that I can check with.
If that's where your contacts are, so be it. And of course, I will pay you when you're done, but this one's a little more time sensitive, so we'll worry about that part later.
Okay,
Excellent.
let's
You
go.
have been entirely trustworthy so far, my good man. I greatly appreciate it.
He just kind of looks at you funny for a second, nods. Yahweh.
Accept the compliment, man.
Of course, Trather, thank you. Yahweh see you through.
May he watch you as well.
And also with you.
Thank you.
I appreciate that, Daniel. I was trying to specifically not say that.
And I appreciated that too.
Because I
think we
instinctively
all
went straight
appreciated
to that.
that.
I went straight to that phrase. I'm like, wait.
It's a reflex at this point. I'm
Yeah, it
going
really
to a
is.
liturgical church.
Okay, so you guys have a new job, but very, very little information to go on.
All right.
What do
You
you?
answers about the questions that got raised in the last job.
Minor details. Don't worry about that.
I always love that. How you ask a question and the person's like, "That is a good question." Anyway, and it just completely ignores you.
And as
all
you
right,
guys
I
walk
have-
out, you hear Izzo say, "Of course, the dragon talked." But you know he said dragon and not wormling.
Oh, out of character. Dragons can shapeshift.
Oh, that's a curious
That's-
look at that. Sure.
That's clever. But anyway,
Scribbles notes on notepad.
I don't know if that's something I would just know. I have a criminal background, which means that basically I have a feat where like I know a guy
You know a guy who knew a
So-
guy who talks to
Yeah,
that
who-
other guy occasionally.
who heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend who heard this REO Speedwagon song.
You can't see me, but I'm dancing right now. So
I've got guild artisan too. I might be able to shake some.
okay, so I'm gonna have you guys either roll history or make me some kind of intelligence, knowledge-based check, or come up with some kind of contact you would have in the area, and then you can go talk to them, and maybe we'll do some persuasion or some yada yada along those lines.
Did Izzo say whether the person who was taken by the orcs or was attempted to be taken by orcs, what like social class they were? Were they just like regular people, or were they upper class?
Well, if they've got servants and a butler, they're probably more upper class.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
In that case, there's a possibility that Trather might know them or know of them.
Okay, sure. You know, Varen is typically considered a heavily merchant city. There's not really a ruling class or a ruler in town. There's really more of a kind of held together merchants coalition that kind of runs everything. There
Run
are
by sort of a
some,
impromptu council.
yeah, there are family members of royalty who do make their home in Varen, but none who expressly have anything to do with the politics of Varen, from a power standpoint at the very least.
All right. Well, I will check with basically with my criminal contacts and make an investigation roll.
Okay.
Good thing I have a criminal contact.
Yes, you do. But you guys aren't on great terms right now.
Yeah, as it turns out, my luck of not rolling well continues.
Okay, so you know where to find Gerald, and you go find Gerald, and he sees you coming kind of down the alley. Oh, good. Batten.
Yeah, it
What?
turns out I'm not as dead as maybe rumors would have you believe.
Yeah, there you go. You're all one piece, aren't you?
Yes,
If you're looking for me, you've got a reason. What?
I'm looking for a girl who was kidnapped by orcs.
Right to it, then. There was a crew of orcs in town, 3 days ago? Maybe 4? Big ones. Angry looking. I recognize the crest on their shoulders. What was that name? That was both in and out of character, me saying that, because I wrote it down, but I can't figure out where. There we go. He looks at you. Let's see. Yeah. Blue, light blue background, black crow on it. Yeah. Mantle of the Crow. 4 or 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy weapons. Looked angry. Purposefully.
All right. Well, you and I both know that orcs are not known for being quiet or subtle, so I need
Sure.
to know where they're going.
I saw them in town, and then they left for about 6 hours, and then I think I saw at least 2 of them roll back in. Looked like they'd been in a fight somewhere outside of town.
Which direction were they coming from?
They came back into town from the north end.
Hmm.
Not much out there. Lake houses. Some of them a day or 2 away.
Interesting. They were gone for, you said, 6 hours?
Give or take, yeah.
Very interesting.
Didn't look happy.
Not if they got roughed up a bit.
Huh.
All right, well, I guess I'll be tracking them down.
He kind of looks at you and he just like gives that and like sticks his hand out.
Right. I'll flick a silver piece his way.
Huh. It's a good thing I used to like you when you were alive. He puts it in his pocket. Be
It's
careful.
a good
of that.
thing. It's a good thing I still like you now.
There's always that.
All right. I will regroup, or at least let somebody know what information I have. Hopefully, they could shake something loose that's a little, maybe slightly more concrete as to their direction. But we know who we're dealing with.
Yes. Okay. So,
Okay.
yes. Any of the other 4 of you.
All right. So, with the guild membership, I'm going to say it's the Stonemasons Guild.
Okay.
So I'm going, first of all, I need to pay my monthly guild dues anyway, so I'm just going to do that a little early here.
Sure.
And where did I write the gold pieces down? That's 5 gold a month, so I will pay that. And once I'm done paying that, and everybody is kind of like, okay, he's a member in good standing, I will ask about the same thing and say, do you have any idea, like, where people have been trying to fortify more, which direction these things might be coming from? It's been my experience in the past that when you have raiders of any kind, it doesn't take very long for people to start building palisades and barricades to try and get a little extra security at night.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, do you want like a persuasion roll or something, or
Not for right now.
Okay.
You may need to further along. Actually, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead and throw me one.
doing exactly as poorly as Daniel?
I don't know. So you know the chapter quartermaster for the area. I don't know about building anything. A couple of orcs wandered back in a day or so ago, needing weapons repaired. Clean metal cuts straight through them. Hadn't seen that kind of damage in a while.
Not since I was back up in Nova Scotia.
Hey, don't you know? That's not nice.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
I have a very short range of accents, Daniel. Work with me. So
All right.
I work with what I've got.
All right, well, you keep going, Yukon Cornelius. I'll be nicer.
Is that an actual person? I don't.
Don't make me laugh. I'm coughing already.
That's the miner from or the prospector and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh,
Oh, okay. I knew that name sounded familiar.
interesting.
Bumbles bounce.
Yeah, that guy.
Not a fit night out for man nor beast. Here's the man and here's the beast.
Yep, that guy.
Interesting. He looks at you. I've only seen those kinds of cuts from the weapons of the Warforged. We don't see many of them around here.
Anything else you can tell me? We're looking for kidnapped victims.
One of them muttered something about not finding a child. Didn't make much sense to me at the time.
Okay.
Not finding a child.
That's actually fortunate.
Anyone who wants to can make me an intelligence check or history or probably just those two for in-character understanding of what the Warforged are.
Yeah.
John has like
2 sevens. Okay.
We don't know nothing. Hey!
I don't know anything.
And
John
R
knows
continues
nothing.
to roll far, far better than literally everyone else.
Hey, I know how to research, I guess.
William
also-
using that fat intelligence score.
If they didn't find the girl, that means we don't get paid.
No, if they didn't find the girl, it means that she's not in orc custody. That's infinitely better.
But she's still missing.
Missing is fine. We can find the missing. I just don't want people getting mistreated while they're waiting for us to find them.
Well, orcs are not known for being gentle.
Not
Okay, so
particularly.
John, Warforged sounds like something real cool that you'd like to know more about. And that's about all the one's going to roll with you for. Trather and Vatten and Bertrand, Warforged, you know, are a kind of thing in the world.
Yes, those mechanical fellows.
Yes, they are sort of construct creatures. R is very, very familiar with Warforged. He knows 4 or 5 personally for some reason.
He built one once.
Yeah. He's read 6 books on them this week. With that sweet 19 total roll there, plus 5 bonus. So Warforged are a sentient race of construct creatures. They're made of wood, stone, metal, some combination, and are typically scouts or soldiers. And are not particularly common this far north in Anwaru, but there are a number of them in the region. They're not unusual, they're just not that common up here. And they're often mercenaries. Or bodyguards. Okay, so that's Peter and Daniel. Ginny, Grant, or William. Hunting for that information. Making those contacts.
It was a history or just general intelligence check to like find out if you have contacts?
Or no, just like if you just like information about the area, or then like persuasion or something if you want to use contacts instead.
Okay. In that case, I'm just gonna roll straight intelligence because I don't think John would have many contacts in that area.
Oh,
You do have
please
Karis
call
and Trellis.
Oh, are they up there?
They're still in Varen, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we are. Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll use them.
Okay, so you go. There's an inn next to the big board, and you know that's where Karis and Trellis usually stay.
Yeah.
And they are there. And Karis gives you a big smile, and Trellis just kind of nods and actually sort of smiles, which is unusual for him.
Yeah.
John, how are you?
Hey, I'm good, but somebody else isn't. We're looking for a missing kid. May have gotten taken by orcs.
Oh no.
Yeah. We were just wondering if you heard anything about a sort of high-ish class kid getting kidnapped.
I haven't.
Is this the point where I should roll persuasion?
Sure.
Because I forgot to do that.
Roll that dice digitally.
Wow, I did real bad this time again. That's another nat 1.
That's another nat 1. Okay, that's unfortunate.
Are we just on an episode of Botchamania?
Maybe.
I hope so.
They look at you and they just seem kind of confused. I haven't really seen any orcs or anything else unusual. No. I mean, we'll let you know if we do see anything.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that.
And Charles looks at you. Be careful, John.
Yeah, no problem. Always.
Okay, so let's go Grant or William.
William, go for it.
Well, since I've been reading so much, I should probably just do the roll. R tends to be more of a wanderer, so I don't think I have too many contacts in this area.
Okay, make me a history or regular intelligence check, and we'll find you some information.
Okay, history seems to be doing pretty well, so I'll stick with it. Third time's the charm. Yes.
Sweet mercy. All right, 19.5 is a 24. Bringing that intelligence score. Bringing that intelligence score to
all
bear.
Our good rolls.
He is using literally all of them, and it's still turning out pretty okay. So we'll take it. So you know, historically, a lot of very rich families have cabins or lake houses a day or two to the northeast, give or take, of Varen, and that they often use them as like summer homes or refuges in like when something's going on where they want to be outside of town. So Grant, would you like to make contact with someone in town, sir?
Absolutely. I figure Traither will do what he does best to solve the problems he can't solve with his sword. Throw money at them.
Okay. That's a useful option.
It is a useful option, and unfortunately entirely in character. So he's probably going to go to one of the nicer inns around. Probably the nicest. He's got that scouted out by now, I'm sure. And, start paying for drinks and drinking himself and asking anybody in the inn and the innkeeper if they know anything about any orc activity around town and where this particular family might have been. That's just trying to get whatever information he can.
So you meet a fine gentleman who is deeply enjoying a good book, and he looks very stately, and he says, yes, Traither, good to see you again, my friend, good to see you.
Oldham, how are you, my good sir?
Excellent, sir, it is good to see you. Let me tell you, I did see some orcs. They came back in town a day or so ago from the north. Looked beaten all about. It was quite curious.
Oh.
I also saw, and actually make me a persuasion or something with a +5. Actually, go ahead and do roll persuasion with advantage.
Hey, there we go. That's a mechanic we can use in this game.
We'll use that thing. We will take that 19. I like it.
And another 7.
And another 7. But hey, you also, one of each. We'll take one of each. Okay, and most curious, I actually saw a Warforged come into town a few hours later. Looked like they were here to pick up supplies and headed out to the northeast. I don't see many of those creatures around these parts. To be honest, most curious.
That is unusual. A drink on me, then. Thank you.
Excellent, Traither. Thank you. Oh, for note, the creature did appear to be sneaking out of town.
Oh.
Most curious. Seemed to be hiding from someone.
Odd. Oh, very well.
Ben. So everybody else has actually, tried to, contact somebody in town they know for information. You take like 30 steps outside of the big board, and someone approaches you. And you recognize him. He's a lizard folk gentleman by the name of Granarn.
Granarn.
Yes. You've done some work with Granarn. He hires adventurers. You don't like him nearly as much as you like Izzo and Daisha. Granarn's not great. He's not particularly friendly or happy. He doesn't pay well. He's not great, but he likes you.
That works.
And he knows Shim is very good at several things, and he likes paying you to do all of those things, like lock picking and sneaking and doing all those fun rogue things. And he walks up, Shim, come here. Granar has questions.
Granar, nice to see you again.
So Granar needs a favor, and Granar will pay Shim real well for this. So I got contacted by some orcs, some rather angry-looking orcs, and he looks nervous. And they're looking for a kid or something, and they're going to pay me real well to find her. So I thought maybe you could find the kid, bring me the kid, then I'd give you some money, and then they'd give me a lot of money. Granar likes a lot of money.
I like Granar.
How about we flip that and you give me the lot of money?
Granar doesn't understand that concept.
And give me a little bit up front.
No money up front for Shim. More money later. Maybe. Probably not. But still money.
Okay. What? I need you to give me all of the information that they gave you.
They were sent to find a girl and her parents, and they found the girl and her parents, but someone took the girl away from them, even though they were supposed to take the girl away. Granar got kind of confused at some point, but they want to find the girl still, because 2 out of 3 is not good enough, apparently. So
right,
they're still hunting.
Sure.
Thank you, Peter. I like that a lot. Granar will give you 4 coppers. Maybe 3. Probably just 2. But definitely at least 1 we'll see. Is there something smaller than a copper? If there's something smaller than a copper, we'll deal in whatever that is.
Well, yeah.
Thank you, Peter. That's very nice. I like that.
Okay. Well, I've made a few acquaintances recently that I'm sure will make this go smoother than whatever you were thinking was going to happen.
Okay, so Shim go do Shim things, and then Granar will make money. Good. Yeah. All right, good. And he pats you on the shoulder very confidently, and then just leaves. You're going to be good, kid. Granar going to make lots of money. I mean, you're going to do good. Okay, bye.
As he turns his back, I brush my shoulder off.
Bye, kid. Okay, so you guys have all met some very interesting people, and have learned some things. What do now?
Reconvene, I guess?
Head back inside and grab a drink.
That's a good start.
Well, if you join me in the end I'm in, the drinks are better, I promise.
So
also I'm paying.
That's a better point. So we know that they're coming from the north, or that they went to get the group from the north, and like northeast-ish is where they were heading. I think,
and where the Warforged are heading as well.
Correct. So, I suspect Warforged are fairly easy to track. They're heavy. They're going to leave deep tracks. It should be easy to follow the Warforged, especially if they're trying to follow after the kidnappers. I mean, orcs are also pretty easy to track. You just follow the swath that they make through wherever they're going.
Not to mention the smell.
Please don't mention the smell.
Something you can't get with podcast currently. Thankfully.
Thank goodness.
They promised it to me in the mid-90s and we still haven't gotten that technology.
Please stop working on that technology.
Yeah.
I mean, fair. No one really asked for it. I don't know really why Nickelodeon thought that was a good idea.
Yeah, you
Wait,
especially don't want to have that technology working when tuning into Nickelodeon. That's like, I would not trust that network with that.
I'm sure Gak smells fine. So what do now? You guys have information You've made friends. You're probably going to get paid by someone.
Eventually, maybe a couple coppers.
We'll
Probably
see.
two.
It's probably fine. Ben, do you specify where your information comes from?
Sure. I'll let everybody know it's from a maybe not. Yeah, I won't give name, but that it was from like an old contact of mine that I would rather not deal with more often than I need to.
I'm familiar, at least with that type of person.
Yeah, not a bad person, just
Kind
one
of
of
a
the
bad
people
person.
you want to like just leave in a dark alley
Oh, I left mine in a dark alley. Am I not
and
supposed to
never
do
come
that?
back. Well, I mean, you can. It is it's always an option. I just always feel bad if I walk away.
Okay, so you
All right.
guys...
Well, I propose that we start moving northeast and try to track these Warforged.
Sounds like as good of a plan as we're likely to get. All of our information seems to kind of vaguely be pointing in that direction.
Yep.
Okay, does anyone need any supplies before you leave town?
I'm always ready to go, so I don't need anything.
I think I'm good too. I didn't really use much up in the last incursion, so
Yep, all fine.
Okay. So you guys head out of town. Make me nature or survival or perception checks. Or investigation. I will also take investigation.
Yes, I have a 0 in all of these.
Here's my survival.
Okay.
we
All right.
survive. Oh
Okay.
yeah.
So-
Now we can roll high.
yeah.
So it looks
Three
like
rolls over 20, including 2 nat 20 plus bonuses.
So now
So-
William's going to roll poorly, right?
it looks
I
like
believe that's required.
I was right about all the Warforged being easy to track.
Yeah, no, very easy to track. There's a literal trail of breadcrumbs.
I like to think that their footprints leave like an impression that says Warforged that way with a little
Yeah.
arrow pointing in the direction that their feet are going.
Follow the grease strips.
Had Trather rolled a 20 instead of a 6, we'd have had a 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and a 24.
As usual, Trather ruins things.
But that's okay, because you still have a 19, 21, 22, 23, and 24.
Yeah.
And a gentleman's 6.
Yes.
It's a strong and useful
six.
6.
From the gentleman who is currently busy not trying to run into trees.
There is that.
Yeah. Tyler had a few
Joe.
too many while he was searching for information.
It's just going, by Jove, I think they went outside.
Bam. And 2 of those are natural 20s, to note.
Yeah.
So Shim and Bertrand have a natural 20. Okay, so you guys see a variety of things. You do know there are several paths north and northeast out of town that take you so different places out of Anwaru. Further towards the shore, there's some lakes, some vacation homes. You guys get a pretty good sense that those vacation homes are in a particular direction, and as you head that direction, you see, and it's been a day or so, but you can still roughly see these like drag marks in the ground, where it looks like someone's like dragging their leg along as they walk. And those continue most of the way, and then you see they stop a little bit, but they keep going, and they keep going far longer than the average person typically walks for. But as you guys know from ours really good history check and the 17 books he's read about Warforged in the last 3 months, that Warforged actually don't eat or sleep because they are constructs, sentient or otherwise. Those 2 things aren't particularly necessary, so this creature doesn't really have to stop, like ever.
They're easy to track, surprisingly difficult to catch up with.
Right.
Yeah.
R actually knows a story of a Warforged that literally escaped his original masters by diving into a river, sinking to the bottom, and then walking for a day underwater.
Oh
And
man, that's
tree.
so metal.
Yeah, that's very hardcore.
And in
Oh,
this
you
case,
got the pun.
because they are sort of metal. Very nice,
I just
Daniel.
threw one out myself without even realizing it.
And I was even going to
Stone is
say,
very hardcore and hard surface.
It's
and hard
rockin'.
metal.
oh, there it is.
Ah.
And I was going to say, right, because they're made of metal. And then I realized he was making a pun and not just a comment. And yep, there we go.
So I was
That's why I
making
don't like
notes
puns.
for my
Fish puns.
Eberron game. I was making notes for my Eberron game, but now you're all fired. So
Oh, we try. Okay, so you guys follow the tracks. You guys actually have to stop in camp. The tracks don't stop. You pick up the next day. I'm assuming you guys take watches, do the whole thing. You're fine. Perception checks, everyone.
nailed it.
Attaboy, Trather.
Right on that 7.
Oh my goodness.
You guys are fine. We found the thing R doesn't do well. Sort of. I mean, there's
I'm
no
gonna have that
negatives, so
bonus.
it's still fine. Yeah. Okay,
Does
so
R need glasses?
In fairness, if it's intelligence or wisdom, I have no bonus, and I don't believe I have any. History is the only skill I have with proficiency that's into
Ooh.
Wiz. So
okay, so
I'm
Bertrand.
wasting all of my 20s.
Use them now. It'll be fine. You won't need those later. Bertrand, Shim, and Vatten. You guys are all fairly certain you're being followed. Shim, you're fairly certain you're being followed by lizard folk. Not Granarn, necessarily, but definitely lizard folk. They're not particularly sneaky, at least not 2 of them.
And you said there's trees everywhere, right?
Yeah. You guys are out in the woods. Woods-ish. Woods adjacent.
I would like to stealth and hit the canopy.
Go for it. Make that
I'm
roll.
going to hide as well, with the intent that as they're following, there's a group out in front, and then they'll pass us, and then we can drop down. So surprise, they're surrounded.
Right.
Do you notify the fine folks you were traveling with? Like Trather, who's trying to not walk into a tree right now.
As discreetly as I can. We can let Trather keep walking. He's easy to. He can just keep going.
He'll turn around and hit things when he needs to. It's fine.
Oh, John, if you don't mind, would you hand me my shield? I do need to polish it as we walk. Get it nice and bright.
Slams into a tree. All right.
It rings like a gong.
Speaking of slamming into trees.
Yeah, there we go.
Just when I started rolling well.
And just so, because I think I came in late on this, we are all back to full.
Yes.
Or are we still okay? Good.
Full all the things.
Good.
Okay. So yeah. Then let me see that stealth check, please.
It was a 14.
There we go. Vatten, congratulations. You're probably going to be the distraction here. With that very
Not the guy
solid
polishing his shield?
6. Yes. You're distracted by how shiny the shield is. And instead of climbing a tree, you hide in a bush, but like standing up in a 3-foot bush. It's probably fine. They probably won't notice.
That's what I
Poison ivy.
No, please no. That was a 1. That would be a 1.
That would have been
That's
one.
when I just like shrug and then just loudly tramp through the woods, like walking beside. It's just like I'm not gonna
all over all the
I'm just gonna
everythings.
walk. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'm just gonna.
So I'm assuming you're still taking a step back from the rest of the group.
Yeah, just
Sort of.
poorly.
Okay, so you do that. Ben, you do hide pretty successfully. They're very focused on what Vatten's doing and a little confused by it. They pass you, and they're still following the rest of the group.
Okay, what do I make out of them?
You've seen 2 of them before. They definitely work for Granarn.
Okay.
They don't look like they're necessarily intending to do any harm to you guys, just to see what you accomplish, sort of.
Yeah. As if I haven't triggered them yet, I just want to stay in the canopy above them and just follow them as they follow us.
Okay. So you guys keep going. So you guys have stopped for the night. They stop further back. and they don't approach you. You guys just camp, and you get up the next day and keep going. So go ahead and make me more perception or survival or investigation checks.
All right, I will do survival.
I'm actually amazed at how many 7s I'm rolling.
That's
Oh,
like
wow.
when you rolled like 4 7s last time too.
Oh, I know.
Grant's using somehow a weirdly loaded virtual die.
Well, no, the trick is I'm actually rolling the maximum possible on a D7.
It's like a weird coding error. It's like 1d20 plus 0 must equal 7.
I don't know if a D7 is geometrically possible.
Don't worry about it.
Sure it is.
Yeah, it is. You know those little like you can make dice out of sort of cylinders or not cylinders.
Yeah.
but,
That
but yeah.
makes more sense.
Yeah. And there are polyhedral 7-sided dice. They're not platonic solids. They're not necessarily regular, but they have, because they have the same area on each side and are weighted correctly, you can have 7-sided dice. You can go up to any number of faces. Really, you just have to design it correctly.
Okay, so you guys make your checks. Okay, so
I got you.
You got us covered there, Vatten, with that natural 20 for a 23. So you noticed 2 things. One, because I don't think you noticed. Well, you noticed before. You noticed they're still following you guys, but they just kind of seem to be keeping their distance. You also notice you're coming up on several cabins, only one of which has smoke coming out of the chimney. Thanks for listening to City on the Hill Gaming. For more information, you can find us online at cityonthehillgaming.com, email us at cityonthehillgaming@gmail.com, or find us on Twitter at cityonthehillgame. For more information on saving the game, you can find Peter, Grant, and Jenny at stgcast.org or at Saving the Game on Twitter. Thanks, and have a blessed day.